It's better to leave the door closed than it is to open it and let the flame in. Also, it's better to hit the floor and not stand up. Smoke rises, and the smoke, of course, will go to the ceiling if you are watching this from the World Trade Center. Again, use the stairwell. Do not use the elevators. That is the worst thing that you can do. For those of you who are not in the World Trade Center and watching this down in Lower Manhattan, please turn off your water. Do not use any water you do not need. They will need all the water pressure they can possibly garner at this point. This is a tough place to battle. Obviously, if a jetliner hits or any type of plane hits an World Trade Center like this, there's going to be a lot of fuel on board possibly. That fuel is very difficult to put out, and of course all the other stuff inside the building itself, which is going to give quite a bit of fuel to this fire. Firefighters will probably issue an all-hands call. That means everybody who is available, including those who are off for the day, will be called in to battle this blaze. That is the highest of all alarms, higher than a general alarm, and that means firefighters from all over the area will be called to battle the blaze. Again, it will be an internal attack. They cannot do anything externally because of the height of this. It's the top portion of the World Trade Center, the very top portion of the World Trade Center. We have maybe, I would say it's probably the top fifth of the World Trade Center, Tower 1, and maybe the top half of World Trade Center 2. Again, we're not sure if both or one of the towers was hit by a plane, but we do know two separate planes hit the towers, and that has resulted in this battle of the blaze that we are watching right now. We do see flames in Tower 1. You can see it at the base of the smoke on the left, and we do know that there's some very serious fire which they're having to battle here today.
Okay, that was Melinda Murphy. You've been listening to Melinda Murphy live from Chopper 11. Over what you can see is a raging fire. Two planes. Now, we just got this in. A senior government official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said that the FBI is now pursuing reports that one or both of the planes that crashed into the two towers of the World Trade Center were hijacked, and the crashes may have been the result of a suicide mission. And we should stress that these are preliminary reports, but the quote is from the FBI, it certainly does not look like an accident.
Now, the New York stuff.
Yeah. Here's the plane. We're going to replay it. This is the second plane that crashed into Tower 1. This happened just after 9 o'clock this morning. The first plane crashed in 18 minutes before. Again, the FBI now reporting that there were planes, maybe one or more, hijacked. The crashes may have been the result of a suicide mission.
All right, we're going to go to a witness that's on the ground. His name is Jeremy Fox. Jeremy, can you tell us what you know, what you've seen since 9 o'clock this morning? Jeremy, you're on live.
Hello?
Jeremy, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
This is Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas. I'm sorry. Nicholas, you're on live, WB11 Morning News. Can you just tell us what you are seeing and witnessing, and where are you?
I'm in my house right now. I'm looking out the window. After the first explosion, I was just looking at the first tower, and I was just like, wow, you know, I was staring at it for a few minutes. And then I seen the second airplane. It was kind of close up to the building, and it looked like it really did know which way it wanted to go, and it crashed into the second Twin Tower building and caused a massive explosion. And I was just like, it was just completely stunning. I'm still hearing like little explosions all around, like around my block, but I don't know what's really going on. But it was definitely a second airplane.
What kind of explosions are you hearing? Do you know?
Just little like dooms. I don't know, maybe that could be like results from the building, but...
Right. Nicholas, can you just tell us exactly where you're located? Obviously, you're not in... Where are you in the vicinity of the World Trade Center?
Well, I'm in the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Lower East Side of Manhattan, and you heard this? Did you hear the plane flying low? Can you tell us?
Well, no, not really. After the first boom, I just heard the explosion.
All right,
I didn't really think nothing of it, and then I just went to the window and I just saw the plane coming, you know, towards the building.
Nicholas, what's the reaction in your neighborhood? You're right there. You're very close to it. What are people saying? What are their reactions?
Well, a lot of people on the ground don't even seem to notice because, I don't know, I guess the buildings are hindering their view.
Yes.
But I guess from the result in the hallway, I heard a lot of doors slamming and a lot of people were speaking in Spanish and, you know, screaming and everything. So I don't exactly know if everybody is informed. Right now, the channels, like Channel 11 isn't working on my TV, or none of the other channels are working, as a matter of fact.
And that's because a lot of the transmitters are off the World Trade Center, and that's part of the problem.
The communication.
But the communication, yeah.
I also see a lot of people on the roofs, like, looking at it now. A lot of people going to the roof.
Can you explain to us, when you saw that second plane come in, did you get a good look at it? Can you describe to us what the plane looked like?
Well, I was in the Air Force before, so I don't really exactly know what type of plane it was, but I know it was a black plane. It looked like a fighter jet.
It looked like a fighter jet.
It looked like a fighter jet. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
It was traveling extremely fast, so it definitely looked like it knew where it was going. It didn't look like it blew a thruster. It didn't look like, you know, something happened, like a malfunction. It definitely looked like it knew where it wanted to go.
How large was that plane? Could you tell?
Wow, it was maybe, wow, it was pretty big. And looking from my window, it's a pretty good distance. It's probably a good 30 miles away from the Twin Towers.
What went through your mind when you saw this going on?
Nothing, yo. It was just like, wow. I can't believe I'm actually seeing this in New York City, you know? So for this to actually happen, and it's still smoking.
Right. Now we're showing you, as we talk to you, Nicholas, we're showing a shot now of the second plane circling around. And as we see it, it actually goes around the back of our view and seems to go through the building.
Yeah.
It actually goes through the building, and you can see the second attack on the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center.
Can you describe that second explosion? Because when we were watching it, it was absolutely breathtaking. Did you hear a boom?
Definitely. I heard a loud explosion. I seen the building crash in, and all I seen was like a big mushroom cloud of fire and debris and smoke just totally rise up, and it was just like in levels. You seen the windows explode going down one by one, kind of, and it was just kind of like amazing in a way, but it's very shocking to see. I mean, you don't expect this kind of thing to happen every day in the Lower East Side.
Absolutely not. Nowhere in New York or even in this country.
We're,
I don't think we've
we're
witnessed
slow-moing
anything.
this, Lynn.
This is a slow-mo shot of the second plane to hit Tower 1 of the World Trade Center.
I was watching news earlier about the spy plane that crashed. Do you think that's maybe has something to do with this? Maybe they're tied together?
It's unclear right now, but we slow-mo this, and it did look like it went through, or partially through.
Right.
All right, we're going to go to,
we have another caller right now.
Well,
actually, you know, stay with us for a minute. Nicholas, can you stay with us for one more minute?
Sure, definitely.
All right. What are you seeing now in the aftermath from your view?
Well, from my view, the smoke is going left from my window. A lot more people on the roofs than before. I'm just seeing, well, from my window, I could see little chunks of debris coming down. I'm just seeing chaos. It's just unbelievable.
All right. Nicholas, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right, Lynn, we're going to go to Pat Kelly with the Office of Emergency Management in Westchester. Pat?
Yes.
Can you tell us what is going on? What is the very latest that you're hearing, sir?
What we're doing in Westchester is we're mobilizing in Westchester because we're assuming we're going to be backfilling and assisting in New York City. So we're preparing all of our fire, EMS, and emergency management people. We're opening our EOC, and the county executive staying on top of what we may be doing to assist New York with this tragedy.
Mm-hmm. We know that you work in situations like this. What's the first thing that you tell people?
Situations like this, as much as you prepare, you can never prepare for something like this. I know the fire, the EMS, the emergency management people prepare for fires in large buildings, but something of this magnitude and something of this quick and over such a large area, there's no real way to prepare. You just drop back onto what you've trained for. You go and you try to assist the people as best you can, and they're going to use up their resources real quickly. New York City's got a lot of resources, but an incident like this is going to tax it to the maximum, so they're going to be wanting assistance from most everyone they can. So that's why we in Westchester, the county executive has ordered us to take and be prepared to go down and assist them.
All right, Pat, this is a huge building. We're talking about a building 101 stories.
110 stories.
110 stories high. Tell us what you think could be going on at this moment inside that building, what you think the situation is like since you deal with emergencies like this.
Yes, having worked in the fire service for 26 years and dealing with tall buildings, at best it's chaos. People that are on the fire floors, above the fire floors, are trying to get out. People are trying to get down. Fire departments are trying to get up to assist the people getting out and to mitigate the problem. Yet again, I'm sure in the back of their mind they're thinking, okay, is this the first wave of something that's going on? But they're going to go in and try to put the fire, or at least save as many people as they can, and then work on this. This is going to be a process that's going to go on for days. Buildings like this that have been on fire, they'll go on for days before they even get to getting them out. The biggest thing now is life safety and getting people out of that building that they can at the moment.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. We're going to change now, switch gears. We're going to go to President Bush, who has a statement at this moment.
May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you very much.
All right, the president
taking a moment of silence, obviously.
Obviously taking a moment of silence. He was in Sarasota, Florida. That's President Bush. He was reading to children in a classroom around 9:05 when his chief of staff, Andrew Card, whispered into his ear. Apparently the president paused for a moment, was obviously very stunned.
Yeah, they say he was visibly shaken by it and said that he would talk about it later. I'm sure he's got to be prepped as to what happened. All of us just stunned by what happened just after 8 o'clock this morning. The Twin Towers of the world.
Obviously, if a jetliner hits or any type of plane hits an World Trade Center like this, there's going to be a lot of fuel on board possibly. That fuel is very difficult to put out, and of course all the other stuff inside the building itself, which is going to give quite a bit of fuel to this fire. Firefighters will probably issue an all-hands call. That means everybody who is available, including those who are off for the day, will be called in to battle this blaze. That is the highest of all alarms, higher than a general alarm, and that means elevators. That is the worst thing that you can do. For those of you who are not in the World Trade Center and watching this down in Lower Manhattan, please turn off your water. Do not use any water you do not need. They will need all the water pressure they can possibly garner at this point. This is a tough blaze to battle. Firefighters from all over the area will be called to battle the blaze. Again, it will be an internal attack. They cannot do anything externally because of the height of this. It's the top portion of the World Trade Center, the very top portion of the World Trade Center. We have maybe, I would say it's probably the top fifth of the World Trade. It is better to leave the door closed than it is to open it and let the flame in. Also, it's better to hit the floor and not stand up. Smoke rises, and the smoke, of course, will go to the ceiling if you are watching this from the World Trade Center. Again, use the stairwell. Do not use the